Hey, Tua, I'm curious how for you, with 3 weeks left in the season, there are a lot of players out there, unfortunately, don't have as much to play for from a team perspective. For you, what does it mean to be playing in important games that mean so much in the playoff race now as a rookie?
Yeah, I think all our games are important. I don't think it's necessarily just, this game in particular. But at this point in time, this is our most important game. It's really whatever team we have at that moment. That's our most important game. That's what we're focused on, and really we're just really preparing for the Patriots.
Armando?
Hi, Tua. So, how familiar are you with Bill Belichick's reputation as a defensive coach? And what are your thoughts about seeing that defense for the first time on the field?
I would say I'm pretty familiar. I grew up watching the Patriots play, in a lot of the Super Bowls. I would also say, I've seen Bill a good amount at Alabama. Him and Nick are pretty good friends. So I would say very similar in a way with, I guess, Coach Saban with how they go about doing things. But I know that there's going to be a lot of challenges that his defense has to offer our offense, and we just got to be prepared this week for those.
Safin?
Hey, Tua, I would say that the defense that you face in practice is pretty similar to the Patriots defense. How do you think that is going to help you prepare for Sunday's game?
I think our scout team does a good job helping prepare us offensively for the games. It's all dependent on the looks that we're going to get. And, I think the scout team does a good job at that. But there's always going to be new things that are going to pop up, whether it's a front or something happens in the back end. You just got to be prepared for it and, adapt to that change on the fly.
Hal?
Hi, Tua. How you doing? I'm not sure if you saw, but after the game, Patrick Mahomes was very complimentary toward you, especially how you approached the latter portions of the game. He said, when I was a young quarterback, I might have tried to force some throws, try to score 20 points at a time. And he saw a lot of composure on your part to take what was there and do it one play at a time. Where does that mindset come from? Is that just part of your DNA, or how did you develop that mindset?
I would say that's been our motto or our little mantra offensively, is you take it one play at a time. How can you do your best job on just this particular play moving forward? So it's really just the one play at a time mentality. And if the play doesn't go well, then really it's the next snap, next play mentality. But I think a lot of credit goes to our coaches and helping us, preparing us for those things where we're in passing situation. These guys are going to get back, take what they give you. If they give you a flat, they give you a flat. If they give you a deep route, they give you a deep route. So it's really take what the defense gives you.
Adam?
Over the last two games, you had targeted Mike Gesicki 17 times. You threw 3 touchdown passes to him. Obviously, his status for this weekend's up in the air, but if he is unable to go, how do you duplicate that kind of production? Do you do it with one player, or do you do it across the board?
Yeah, I think it's hard to replace, a guy like Mike. It's also hard to replace any of these guys like Devontae, Jakeem. But it's next man up, and the guys that are ready to play, they're hungry to play, and this is just an opportunity for them as well. This is great time for me as a quarterback to show my leadership to these guys, these new guys, and then also work my timing with them.
Steve?
I ask this because you're playing the Patriots for the first time. When you think of the Patriots growing up as a football fan, what comes to mind?
I think when you think of the Patriots, you think of dominant. They've been very dominant over the past 2 decades, I would say, especially when Brady was there. And, I think they have a really talented quarterback in Cam Newton. and also with Jared Stidham. But their defense has always been their biggest deal. Belichick takes pride in, all their DCs that have come there, even Coach Flo, they all take pride in, their defense and, what they do to stop offenses. So, like that's the biggest thing I would say is pretty much dominant.
All right, time for one more. We'll go to Cam.
Got the last one again, Tua. I wanted to ask you, Jalen Hurts got his first start for the Eagles this past week, and he's getting it again this week. I'm curious if you were able to talk to him or see him perform, and, if you could share any of that.
Yeah, I wasn't able to talk to him before the game or after the game, but I would say maybe 2 or 3 weeks we've talked, a good amount, about whatever situation he was in and whatnot. And we were going back and forth talking about it, but I'm really happy to see him and how successful he's been. And that's a big win, against the Saints. So congratulations to Jalen and his team, and I hope he continues to do well.
Hey, Ted, of course, you don't know these guys at all on the other side that you're playing this week. You guys obviously played them week one. Did you learn anything, I guess, that you can bring over to this game, or have you guys both evolved to the point where it's hard?
I think it's hard translating from week one. Obviously, there's still some of the same cast of characters, but everyone's been seasoned hardened now. We're 3 months into the season. You kind of, everyone's, evolved, like you said, and put little nuances in. Obviously, already went back and watched that game, but really more focused on, what they've done the past 6 weeks, and they're probably doing the same for us.
Adam?
I'm curious, Ted, when you signed with the Dolphins, I'm sure, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but playing time was probably important to you, an opportunity, but where was playing in moments like this, games with a ton on the line late in the season, was that a priority for you when you signed? And if so, how do you think it played out?
Well, I knew, the Dolphins were on the rise. We were on the rise. I knew we were going to have a pretty good team based on the guys that we signed before. And we came in and worked hard and put ourselves in a position to play meaningful December games. And, this is a division opponent with a lot of parallels to us. And it's going to be a big time battle Sunday afternoon in Hard Rock with a lot of stakes on the line.
Ted, I'm wondering about your take on this as a football fan with a distinctive perspective. What do you make of the Patriots being in this situation here in December, a game under 500 on the verge of elimination? I mean, how strange is it?
Well, I only know a few things. I know that they're working really hard. I know that they're going to be prepared, and they're going to be tough, smart, and physical. And it's our job here this week to prepare ourselves to outdo them and all of that. And, we have a lot of guys that know, how they're working up there. And we've tried to, get it going down here. I think we had a good start today on Wednesday, but, it's going to be a long week of preparation. And then ultimately we're going to have to play our best when it counts the most, Sunday afternoon at Hard Rock Stadium.
Josh?
Hey, Ted, how's it going, man? I was wondering if I could get your observations on Tua's poise in the fourth quarter of this past game, specifically on that 12-play drive when he was playing, with a lot of receivers who weren't, getting a big amount of snaps earlier in the season. And, you guys were still able to score there late in the game, that 12-play drive.
Oh, we made it a game at the end. I think that, it was a tough, hard-fought game. Obviously didn't do enough to win, especially in the third quarter, but Tua really, showed some great leadership, a lot of grit. I think the whole offense did. I think our whole team did, coming back and making it a game at the end. Obviously there's a bunch of plays that, I wish I could have back personally, and I'm sure a lot of guys feel the same way, but, we're working hard, and, now we're on to, New England here and getting ready to roll in a biggest game of the year.
Stoppin?
Hey, Ted, I wanted to ask, what are some of the big differences do you think is going against your defense in practice versus the Patriots defense? And how do you think Tua would do against the Pats defense, knowing that it's kind of similar?
It's pretty similar. Obviously, there's going to be some nuances. A lot of the structure may be the same, but they have a lot of really good players. So do we. I think that, we're both matched up pretty well against each other, and we're, kind of in the same family of defenses at least. And we've had some preparation, but it's all going to come down to, in-game adjustments and how we prepared throughout the week. And then when we get on the sideline after a drive, whether we score or not, making adjustments to see what they've declared they're going to do in the game. So that's where we're focused. I think it's going to be a great game, and we're ready to roll.
Adam?
I know you just got off the practice field, but there was a report over the last couple of hours that Frank Ragnow of the Lions played through a fractured throat last week. He fractured his throat in the first quarter and finished the game. Your reaction when you hear something like that?
I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know you could fracture your throat. That seems pretty serious. I know Frank Ragnow is a really tough player. I've liked his film since he's came in from Arkansas, I believe. But good player. I don't really know how to react to that. I didn't know you could fracture your throat. Are you saying like he broke his neck or he fractured his throat? So I don't. Obviously, he showed some toughness there. So I hope he's okay, and I hope there's not any long-term effects for him. Good player.
Take two more, Travis.
Hey, Ted, good afternoon. Obviously, since Belichick arrived in New England, his track record against rookie quarterbacks has been sterling, to say the least. I'm curious why you might think that is, and what's your role this week in kind of trying to help Tua get prepared and get the offense kind of going against a defense that historically does so well against young rookie quarterbacks? Yeah,
my main job, mostly every week is identifying the fronts and helping him, identify the mic point. Obviously, as an O-line, we're going to have to do our part in protection and the run game to make him feel comfortable. I think that Coach Belichick is obviously, one of the, greatest coaches to be around the league. And he schemes it up really well. And he knows his opponents and tries to exploit their weaknesses. So, we're going in with a good plan. I have we feel confident with our game plan, but it's on us as players to go execute it.
All right, last question, Hal.
Ted, one other question that's not related to the upcoming game. As a veteran, the owners are meeting right now and trying to decide whether to go to 17 games. As a veteran on this team, you know how you feel right now. How would you feel about a 17-game season?
I always side with our NFLPA. I believe we voted yes on that, if I'm correct, based on the new CBA. My personal thoughts is, obviously I always side with the union. I don't mind playing another game as long as we get compensated for it. That's our job. But that's out of my hands. I'm going to line up, 16 games, 17 games, whatever you want to throw us out there. Well, let's play some football. And, we get to, obviously have pretty nice salaries and, play a very fun game and America's game. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity. But again, whatever the union wants to go with, we have a great president, J.C. Treader, and I back him.
How do you handle maybe the duplicity of this week of, dealing with Mike's injury, but also knowing you're probably going to have an increased role?
Well, I think at this level, you kind of have to go into every week with the same mentality. And that's kind of something that I've tried to do, since college, is just know the entire game plan, every role within our tight end room. So, I mean, from that standpoint, just kind of status quo in terms of knowing everyone's role.
Adam?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll turn my video on. That injury looked pretty ugly with Mike. In the moment, I'm sure you felt for him. Did you give him any words of encouragement, and how's he doing now?
Yeah, definitely. He's in high spirits. In terms of the logistics and everything, I have no idea. You'll have to talk to the other guys. But, Mike's a guy that's always high energy. He was in high spirits. And, nothing's really changed. So you love to see that.
Josh?
Hey, Durham, how's it going, man? What do you think your evolution as a pass catcher in the offense, specifically this season, helps in your role and also helps the offense? Specifically in these last 3 games, you got 16 catches, and which follows double the amount that you've had in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, well, I try to be a guy who's reliable, in the pass game. obviously not being a 4-4, 4-5 guy like Mike and some other guys, you won't end up with 60, 70 catches in a year, but when the ball comes your way, try to be reliable, safety blanket type thing. That's what I've tried to do, over the last 15, 14 weeks is just, when the ball comes my way, catch it and be efficient in that regard. So that's kind of the mentality. That's what it's been all year, and that's kind of what it'll be going forward.
Durham, you might be like a 4-6 guy. I would say that.
Right on the verge. Definitely right on Mike's heels. But
I wanted to ask you about Mike's season as a whole, man. He's obviously, you guys were drafted at the same time, him having higher expectations as a second-round pick. And for him to kind of turn in the production that he has this season with the one-handed catch and being a reliable, outlet for the offense, what can you just say about how he's progressed here during your time here together?
Well, first of all, you mentioned the second round, fourth round thing. I tell them every day that they made a mistake in that regard, and it should have been the other way around. I stand by that. So that was obviously an organizational mistake, but I guess it's worked out in the long run here. No, but I've known he's had this in him since we first got here. He's progressed a lot in terms of, strength, understanding the game and things like that, but he's always had this ability. I knew that from day one. This year he just kind of was able to show it on a consistent basis, things that I've seen for the last 3 years, everyone's starting to see now. I actually was just talking to him a little while ago. I know Pro Bowl voting starts today, and I'm doing everything I can to get that guy in because I think he's more than deserving of it this year. So it's been fun to watch, and I think it'll only continue from here.
Yeah, with as well as Mike played, how if by chance he's not able to go this weekend, how do you replace that level of production?
Well, like I said earlier, I think it's just, and Adam's kind of the same way I am. I think we go into the game every week with the same mentality, and that's, I understand Adam's role, I understand Mike's role, he understands our too. So nothing really changes from that standpoint. We'll be the players that we are. Like I said, we try to be reliable when the ball's thrown our way, be efficient in the run game, things like that. So I think from that standpoint, we'll just kind of approach this game like we have the other 14.
What's going on, Raekwon? I wanted to ask you, man, when running backs kind of just get into your grasps, you don't let go, you like to drive them into the ground. What is it like to kind of be able to make a play like that, especially when it's a tackle for loss, to really help the defense stop the run?
I just know I gotta make that tackle. Running back running through my gap, that's my play to make. So I gotta make that play. Get like 5 yards. My coach Austin Clark he gonna see me on the sideline.
Go ahead and raise your hand, guys.
I'll do another one, Raekwon. I don't think we talked to you after the Patriots little scuffle at the end of that game there. What's something that maybe you learned after that incident that you hope to kind of put into action, this game around?
I'm really not just really focused on that. It was just like it was just a lot of emotion, a lot of, just that's all it was, just emotional, but I think we passed that and we back at it again,
Guys.
Hey, Raekwon, I saw that the Patriots have the third most rushing attempts by their quarterback. Cam Newton has the third most rushing attempts among quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm wondering what's the difference from your perspective on the interior defensive line to attack a running game that has so much quarterback options in it compared to like a traditional running game?
Just getting a stop, trying to just stop him from. I know y'all can't hear me. They got the little thing on the field, so I'm doing this outside. He was passing by, but just getting a stop. We know he like to rush, and he's a pretty good quarterback. He can rush, he can throw. Just being where our feet at. To be honest with you, trying to just keep him in the and just trying to make him throw the balls. Basically, we don't want to rush him.
Yeah.
Hey, Raekwon, I think Cam may be the biggest quarterback in the league. What's this like trying to tackle a dude who might be, nearly as big and tall as you?
I can't hear nothing you saying right now. Y'all ain't gonna tell him to move? Say it again.
Now I said, I think Cam's probably the biggest quarterback in the league. What's it like trying to tackle a dude who's nearly as big and tall as you?
I mean, it's hard, but anybody can get tackled, though. I can get tackled. If I can get the ball, I got tackled by, what's the quarterback name from Georgia? Jake Form? He tackled me, so anybody can get tackled.
Go to Joe.
Hey, Raekwon. There was a pretty cool photo that I saw where you, on the third down tackle where you brought down Clyde with one arm, and it was kind of fun to look at his face. He looked like he was in pain. I don't know if you saw that photo, but my question is, did anyone sort of famous, player or celebrity or anything, sort of comment on that particular play on social media to you or hit you up on text about it, that they saw it?
Nah, I mean, I didn't see the picture, though. I don't even remember
To look for
what
it.
happened. But no, I didn't see the picture, so I don't know.
All right, last one, Hal.
Raekwon, that first game against New England would have been your NFL debut. I'm not sure if you looked at the film of that this week just to kind of refresh your memory, but if you did, how much different does your defense look and feel to you compared to the way your defense played in that first game? How much improved do you think it is?
I think we improved a lot, it was a big improvement. That was my first game starting, as a rookie. And, but, I mean, I see, anybody can tell it's a big difference now, though.